Hey everybody, welcome to another Illustrator CS6 tutorial. Today we're going to be working with the info panel. The info panel gives you a bunch of data on the current document depending on what you have selected or what object or tool you're using and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to go over the different ways you can use the info panel to be working with your project here. So first thing you need to do is go to Window and go to Info, and that'll open up the Info panel. You can see that the hotkey is Control F8. If you ever want to use that, I just use it over here on the side. You can see that over here on the side, this is what the Info panel looks like, and it's got the eye, like the little information icon. So the first thing you want to start out with is select your selection tool. You can see that when you move around, the X and Y coordinates, in this case it's displayed in pixels, are showed. Now let's go to another thing. If we selected object, we have the X and Y coordinates of it, and then we've got the width and height of the object here. So that'll be handy when you're trying to figure out what something is and you need to replicate it or something like that. Okay, then the next thing I want to show you is if you select multiple objects, it's going to show you the combined width and height and the combined X and Y coordinates going on there. So if I go ahead and select this, we got 691, 383, and we got 97 and 81. Now these two dogs are the same height. So now we've got the same height still. The X and Y coordinates are the same, and the width is what got longer because our bounding box got longer, as you can see. All right, the next thing I want to show you is if you select the zoom tool, the magnification gets displayed over here. That's pretty nice. Another thing that I wanted to show was that when you use some of the transformation tools, there will be different types of things that will show up in the info panel. So if I go ahead and I select the dog here, I want to use the scale tool here. I click on that. Now you can see I've got width 100%, height 100%. If I go ahead and start scaling this, you can see the amount of increase in percentage I'm getting when I scale. And that's pretty helpful when you're trying to figure out. So your client wants you to scale up the dog 200%. There you go. Now you can scale it up 200%. And it's a little hard. It's like snapping and everything like that. But at least you got some kind of identification there of what you're doing. So there's another thing that I wanted to show you. If you go over to the options here, you can click Show Options, and then you've got your color. So right now we've got our RGB color of gray. Let me see if I change this, if it changes. Yep. Now we've got our pink color here, and the RGB changed, and you've got your, I think this is called a hexadecimal number. And this is what you can use to get this exact color. So that's some info on the info panel. So there we go. We learned a little bit about that. One more thing I wanted to show you is that when you start using drawing tools, so let's go to the pen tool. I'm going to click, and then you can see on the info panel, I've got angle, I've got depth here, we've got width and height, all that stuff. So I can see the angle that I'm trying to make here. So this is about a 30-degree angle. And this you can see is a 180-degree angle. That means I'm exactly right across. And there I go. I can make a triangle here with a 30-degree angle and a 180-degree angle. So keep that in mind because that'll be really handy when you're using the pen tool and you need to make certain angles. So that's it for the info panel. I'm sure there's a bunch of other tools that'll show up here and you can see different types of things with the info panel. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but you can go ahead and mess around with the tools and check out different things that might show up in the info panel. There is another thing I wanted to show you that I didn't really go over yet, but I figured I'd just add it in at the end of the tutorial, is about undoing and redoing. Now, it's probably like the best thing that's ever happened to computer programs is getting an undo button, because then you don't, or you can basically change a mistake and undo a mistake that you made. So if you go up to edit, we've got undo here, and the hotkey is Control Z. That's one of the most used hotkeys you'll probably ever use is Control Z. And it pretty much works in every single program that there is now, and it's universal, it's Control Z. And then we've got redo, which is Shift Control Z, and you use that when you undid something, and then you're like, crap, I didn't want to undo that. You can redo it and bring it back to what it was. So those are two things I just wanted to show you that I didn't officially go over, but now I can say that I did. So thanks a lot for watching the tutorial, and stay tuned for another awesome Illustrator CS6 tutorial on the New Boston YouTube channel. See you guys later.